So we just got some bad news for Avatar Legends, the fighting game. Bad news, that is, if you're on the Nintendo Switch, and really bad news if you're on the Xbox Series. We're gonna get into that, and let me just say first, I think communication could have been handled way better here. The communication from the Avatar Legends team with the community has been pretty good, I would say, but when it comes to things like this, I do think they probably should get a little bit of PR training. Anyway, the thing that we're going to talk about is this announcement that the Avatar Legends team put out on Twitter just a few moments ago. It's here up on screen right now. And it says the official launch of Avatar is coming soon, and we can't wait for players to start playing. We want to update the community on platform-specific details for Nintendo Switch players. The Nintendo Switch version will only be available in the standard format, so there's not going to be a deluxe edition for the Switch, and I have some questions about this, but it goes on to say the Switch version will not have crossplay and language localization beyond English will not be available. We are committed to bringing these features along with upgrading to Deluxe Edition as soon as possible. So here's the thing that's confusing to me, and honestly it shouldn't be confusing, but it is because, like I said, their communication regarding the Nintendo Switch and Switch 2 is not the best, and has not been for a while now. They say that the Switch version is not going to have crossplay and will only be available as a standard edition, but my question is this: does this extend to the Switch 2 version? Is the Switch 2 edition also going to be left out of crossplay? You would think that if that were the case that they would say so, but the thing is, there have been a lot of Avatar trailers that they've released where, as far as Nintendo goes, they only show the old Nintendo Switch logo. They don't show the Switch 2 logo in a lot of the trailers. In some they do, but there's a lot where they don't. But we know that the game is coming to the Switch 2 because they have the physical copies up for pre-order on Amazon. I don't know, guys, I am a little bit worried. I'll be good because I have the game pre-ordered on Steam, so I'm going to be playing it no matter what tomorrow. But the Switch 2 is my main console, and that's the console where I really want to play this game. And if that's left out of crossplay, that is going to be a major hit to the player base. I did ask them in the replies to clarify, but they haven't responded, so I guess we're just going to have to wait and see. And although they did say that they were going to be working on bringing these features over, so fingers crossed. And as far as the Xbox, it looks like you guys got it even worse than we did, because at least Nintendo Switch players get to play the game tomorrow, even if we might be missing crossplay and a couple of other things. Xbox players are not even going to be able to play the game at all, according to this announcement. The announcement goes on to say, for the Xbox community, we are forced to delay the release due to unforeseen circumstances on a back-end feature. We will now launch by September 3rd, so the game is completely delayed for Xbox for over a month. You know, it's really easy for us to say that they should have been upfront, but they did say it was an unforeseen circumstance. So something that just popped up. Is that true? Probably. You know, I'm not the kind of guy that ever really takes anyone at their word for anything. So I always have a bit of a negative sense to things, but I try to rely on, is this reasonable or is it not reasonable? I think there's probably a pretty good chance that they're telling the truth here. Maybe they knew that this was going to be a problem down the road and they were hoping that they could fix it by the time that the game released and just ended up not being able to. Another thing to consider is that the game seemed to run fine on Xbox during that last closed beta. So they had it running pretty good, and now all of a sudden they have to delay it for a month. So, you know, that gives more weight to what they said about it being a sudden thing that just came up. It does suck, but you know, these sort of things happen, and if you're on the Xbox, my advice, and really the only advice right now for you, is just be patient. That said, you already know I am going to be buying this game on the Nintendo Switch too, and I'm going to be letting you guys know how it is. I'm also going to be doing a ton of combos and tutorials for this game, so if you like fighting games on the Nintendo Switch and Switch too, hit the like button and subscribe to the channel. I'm SwitchPlayed done.